If you're ever in some logging
Outlaw
town,
Outdoors,
and you
Elk
meet one
Season
on the street,
2015.
you're gonna think that. I've seen two loggers stand toe to toe and slug it out in a free-for-all fight. When it was over, they get up and shake hands and laugh and drink together the rest of that night.
Right where I said it was gonna drop, too.
I've seen a logger pick up a baby bird and put it back into its nest. And I've never heard one criticizing a man when he knew he was doing his best. They're a rough, rowdy breed of people, but it's a rough life they live. And most of the time their job's demanding just a little bit more than they can give. They come home at night so doggone tired, bruised and cut and sore. Get up next morning with a big old grin and go right back out for more. The same steep, muddy hillsides they were cussing the day before. Where there walks a logger, there walks a man. I think a logger loves his family just a little bit more than most men, as he knows if he makes just one mistake, he'll never get to see him again. Oh, a line could break or a tailhold slip and cut a man half in two. The dangers there lurking everywhere, and the rewards are just all too few. But it's a life he chose, and whichever way it goes, his family will understand. Because when he walks in through that door at night, they know that there walks a man. Loggers don't sit around much discussing church, religion, or prayer. But a wise man once said, if you ever get to heaven, you'll be surprised who you run into there. And when the last trumpet's been sounded, all of life's secrets unfold, we'll find more than one set of cork boot tracks on those streets that are solid gold. Where there walks a logger, there walks a man.
Woke up this morning, layer of snow on everything. Makes it real easy to see these traps here. Lone spike bull running through here.
Where there walks a timber faller, we claim there walks a man.
And right across the road,
the rigging crew and
over
the sawmill boys are always putting us down. But they can't log them and they can't saw them if we don't cut them
in their
down.
place.
Strong winds and widow makers, they don't
Hopefully
bother us at all. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall. We don't complain if the timber's small or if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. Fire warden said no smoking, boys, we can't burn up the wood. My partner said, try chew this snooze, this stuff is really good. I said, can you get used to chewing that snoot? He said, I hope to shout. I took a big old chew and it turned plumb blue, and they had to pack me out. Strong winds and widow makers, they don't bother us at all. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall. We don't complain if the timber's small or if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. These saw repairs, they're getting us down, 'cause every day or two, gotta take the old saw into town and have them put on something new. We get home late a smelling of booze every time the saw breaks down. It ain't our fault there's a bar beside every power saw shop in town. Strong winds and widowmakers, they don't bother us. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall.
Ooh, that one's a little young one. Both of them are young.
The timber's smaller if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. In high lead logging, your whistle punk is a little guy that sets out on the stump and blows in the signals to the yarder engineer. And your hook tender is the boss. This is the story of a little guy that was a whistle punk, and he wanted to be a hook tender in the worst way, and I guess in his own way, he finally made it. Whistle Punk Pete, he stood only 5 feet. He wasn't gonna get any bigger, but his main ambition was to hold a position of hook tender and head rigger. But everybody knew that unless he grew, he wasn't ever gonna make it. It takes a pretty big man, that's an all-around hand. There's hardly any way you can fake it. You put a block and a strap on the little Pete's back, he'd head in the wrong direction, making new layouts and pulling haywire. He couldn't even pull one section, but he could climb all right. Didn't mind the height, but when he got to the top, oh golly, he was too small to tackle a guy line shackle. He couldn't even hook up a molly, but he was running around with a gal downtown. She was fat, but kinda pretty, and we heard one day that they ran away, got married in a nearby city. He was happy with his wife, she was the love of his life. She had such a sweet disposition, but Whistle Punk Pete didn't know at the time she'd help him realize his ambition. Cause his little wife Myrtle wore a full-length girdle that had 23 hooks.
Oh,
and
2015 elk season coming to an end. Last night at camp. Didn't get an elk, but that's something you get happens when you just hunt for public land. But been a good season. Saw lots of elk, saw lots of deer, and had a good time with the family. You can come up here hunting with my grandpa, brother-in-law Eric, cameraman. He got to see some elk and a lot of deer. As you can tell in the video, there's a lot of deer, some turkeys, some elk. No shots fired, but public land. There's next year.